Alright guys, so today is July 4th and we're going to do an update. We'll start up here. Here's some Armenians, and we've been picking like one a day probably on average. Down in there's one plus a lemon, which I didn't know I planted. The jalapeno, this jalapeno, well, it's not a jalapeno, it's just a pepper. It's not doing all that hot sometimes when it gets hot. Today and yesterday only in the low 80s. It's supposed to heat up to 100. Squash plants didn't like it when we had that 107 a couple days in a row. More yard longs down in there. There's another one over here on the edge. And this pepper plant, the same thing. It kind of petered out in that hot weather. It just doesn't always look that great. So we'll move on over here to the onions. I don't know. I picked some of the balls yesterday. I'll try to use them. Been picking some of the bulbs, which they're not half bad, really. These guys get super slimy. They don't really have a bulb. They just grow, and I'm such a weenie. I don't want to pull them out. Makes me feel bad, right? But they got some seeds on them, so I just do like that sometimes and see if they'll fall in there and grow me some more. So just shake them once in a while, whatever. Tomatoes, I don't know. These peppers, they're growing. They're slow, but that's okay. This guy here wilts every single day. He'll wilt here in about an hour or something. I had that shade cloth kind of draped up. I might have had it on the last video. I don't know. I don't know where that plant came from. We do have these melons that I planted. There's one right back in the back there. And I don't remember, but they're fast growing something or other. So we're going to try them. I wasn't sure how this guy, but this is a yellow. He hasn't produced anything yet, but you can see all the little yellow ones. So we'll see. There is one Armenian in the background over here. Be ready in probably 2 days, 3 days. Still hasn't produced any of the, I think it's a beta alpha, I think. The Russolini, it's kind of stunted itself out. It didn't like the hot weather either, but it's now producing tomatoes, even though they haven't been that good. This guy here, I don't know what it is, but as you can tell, it's starting to turn. And that's a big tomato. That's probably almost baseball size, tennis ball at least. We're having some issue with sunburn. If you can see that. And look at the plant. It's just not. So I don't know exactly what's going on there, but you know. And then the two peppers down in there, they're not all that well either. So I trimmed this guy, came back, it was looking decent, and then boom, it's doing the same exact thing. So I think that's going to get ripped out. This is going to get ripped out because I trimmed it up. It looked okay for about 3 days, and then no. The couple little basils, my wife picked a little basil yesterday. The peas, there was a pea there, it died for some odd reason. But that one's still alive, and this one's still alive. And I did throw some more seed. And surprisingly enough, they're staying fairly moist down there. This is working, from what I can tell. But I've thrown seed in here quite a few different times, and they're just not really, they're not popping up. But, I mean, this is lettuce from way back. I mean, I don't know what this is. I think it might be a chard. You know, this fell over on top of it. It had caterpillars real bad, but it's starting to produce some seeds. So I'm just kind of leaving this little section. I do have a pea plant right there. But I mean, I planted, I don't know, 6 or 7 more along this trellis. You can see this cilantro seed. I'll start picking this and throwing it randomly. Just to try to get more and more. Looks like my carrot back there died. So I might dig that up just to see how big that sucker really is, because it's massive. And then I'll take you down here, guys, in another little section. But, you know, you can kind of see we did take down some of the sunflowers to get this shade cloth up. Like I said, today is only like 80 something, so we're not going to do that just quite yet, but I might get it ready today and maybe put it up at the end of the week. It's supposed to be low hundreds. So, and then I just planted this here, and I planted 2 different flowers that I just got in the mail, Snapdragon and Aster Silver, I think it is. And then I planted a champagne tomato, like a little cherry, champagne colored, kind of yellowish. Some thyme, and it's amazing how small thyme seeds are. And then I've never grown tomatillos. I finally got some seeds, so we planted a couple seeds in each, and let's see if we can't get that. So just got this done, but there's the upper little section, and we'll go down below and show you what's going on down there in a second. See ya.